The WNBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. You can win up to 325 times your entry with their new Pick 8 sign up with promo code NBA SGPN to claim your special pick and first time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code NBA SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Get the best data-driven props and picks from Rhythm. Claim your 7-day free trial by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the WNBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no voice, no guy. It's me, really bro, villain bro. Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service. And I wish I could say, that I could play another drop after this, but I can't. Locked in hit. Nafis Collier over 8.5 rebounds. That miss. However, we got the Lynx plus 190 on the money line. Get it done against the New York Liberty, our New York Liberty. But I mean, it was a great spot, and that team is really, really well coached. Like Cheryl Reeve is doing her thing in Minnesota. That's a really, really well coached team. So it's glad to see Minnesota Lynx back on the top of the WNBA. Like that's good to see. That's always good to see. All those teams with Maya Moore and how good they were. It's really, really good to see this Minnesota team back on top. So, Scott, Studio Reichel. Scott, what's going on?
Scotty, beat me up.
Surprise.
Yeah, so I didn't sweep either, but I reversed what you did. I ended up having the lock win, which was hilarious. I'll get into that in a second. And my dog was Brianna Stewart. I had her 5+ assists. She had 2 in the first quarter, so I thought I was in good shape, and she ended up with 3. So 1 assist in the final 3 quarters, didn't get it done. I had John Quell first quarter points under at 4.5 at -108. Do you know how many points she scored in the entire game?
2.
3.
Oh, she got a free throw in there? Okay.
She had a free throw in there. In fact, I think it was all free throws. I don't think she made a shot.
I remember seeing 2. Yeah, I remember seeing 2 in like some point in the fourth quarter. I was like, oh, wow. Well, Scott hit that lock for sure. And then I didn't know she ended up getting a late free throw there. So, all right, 3.
Otherwise, she had 3 points, so she did not go over her first quarter point line in the entire game. So that's called the sweat-free winner in the business. But it was nice to get back on the winning side after having my lock streak snapped. So feels good to be back. We'll try to keep it rolling, but hit the lock, lost the dog. Kind of annoying. Brianna just didn't get any assists basically for the next 2 quarters after having 2 in the first, 7 minutes of that game. But you hit the dog, I hit the lock. We kind of balanced it out in the middle. We both like Minnesota. The under was not even close. Liberty unders are dead to me. I've had enough. I'm not going to bother. That's just a way that I keep embarrassing myself, trying to convince myself and others to take Liberty unders. Don't bother. So I'll be on overs now for the Liberty, but at least the Lynx got there. So there we go.
What's with the Jonquil Jones disrespect in the chat? That's hilarious.
I'm not going to disrespect her. I like her. She made me money.
Yeah, and we just know when to back her and when to fade her. But this is the reigning, well, not no longer, but the former Commissioner
MVP.
Cup MVP. Shout
She
out!
also won MVP
Bridget should have won. I think Bridget should, as a Nafisa Collier head. I think Bridget should, and she even said, "I thought Bridget was gonna win." Like
what she had?
She
had 23 in that game.
23, and I think she hit like some. Did she hit 6 for 8 from 3?
It wouldn't shock me. I don't remember missing a shot in the entire game.
I felt like no. Honestly, when I was watching the game, I was really annoyed that we backed the under because I was like, wow, they're not missing a shot. Like if there's a miss in this game, I feel like it's the time that I look down at my phone for a reason. But I don't feel like I'm ever seeing any misses in this game. Yep. Yeah, she was 6 for 8 from 3. Like I thought Bridget was gonna win it. I really did.
I think she should have, but Collier's the best player on the best team, and they decided, not to.
It was close. It was close.
Yeah.
because Collier hit 3 for 3 from 3. That was her 3 threes was big too. So like it was close. I get it, but
I am
all
curious
right.
if they vote for it the same way they vote for like NBA Finals MVP, where it's like a committee of people and they just pick somebody.
Mhm.
I'm curious how that works out, but I'm
I
sure it
actually
was
don't
close.
know. Gotta look into that. All right. Make sure you check out the Mothership Sports Gambling Podcast because they started their top 10 fantasy football preview series. They already dropped the QBs and the tight ends episode, and Giants made it on both lists. They might have made it by, the Giants fan, but the Giants have made on both of a QB and a tight end list. So look out for that. Never too early. For the National Football League, it's never too early. So make sure you go check out Sean and Ryan on their show, Sports Gambling Podcast, The Mothership. All right. Here we are. 4 games. Scott, I'm going to play this now because I feel like that's where this is going. We'll see if we talk ourselves off of this, but I'm just going to play this now because I think that's how this entire episode is about to go.
Who's got the chalk?
I mean, I would just love to hear. I would love to hear. I mean, there's 2 teams that I think might surprise us, but I still can't back them. First game up on the docket is Camp Day in Dallas. Shout out to one of our listeners. I forgot who it was. Oh man, my memory is horrible.
They went to the
Let me go
Chicago
again.
camp day?
No, they're going to the Dallas
Oh.
one. I believe
Okay.
he's going to Dallas. Yeah, Olan. It's Olan. So shout out to Olan. His daughter, I think is what he said, is going to camp this summer, and they are going to the Camp Day game. So he's chaperoning. Nice. So cool. Yeah, like go catch the game with your daughter, get a bet in. That's amazing, definitely. So here we go. Minnesota Lynx, fresh off of the Commissioner Cup victory, going to play the Dallas Wings in Dallas. Lynx are laying 10.5. 162.5 is the total. Injury report for these 2 teams, and Diamond Miller is still out. Maddie Seegers, Jaylen Brown, Satu Sabli is still out for the Wings.
Okay, so we got to start somewhere because we disagreed on that second Wings Mystics game. And you look good for a half, and then they fell apart again.
Yeah.
Where are you at with this team? Are you still on they got to figure it out at some point, or you think that at this point you're converting to my side of why am I going to back this team until they actually do anything productive?
I mean, I'm not going to back them, but I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not going to back them, but I wouldn't be surprised. I just don't think their fall from grace is this hard. I really don't think their fall from grace is this hard. Like, this is really, really hard. But again, they were missing 2 starters before. Now they're missing 2 starters again. So It's just like you never feel like you can get right. But Natasha Howard looks really, really good, by the way. Like, that's a very, very good get back where you feel like you have a consistent, probably somebody that can get close to 20 points per game any given night for them.
What'd she have again? She had like 20 in the first half against the Mystics.
Her points prop was 14.5. She cashed in the first quarter.
I think 16 she had 20
in the first quarter.
Like,
so it's like that's a very, very good piece to get back. That's why I'm not locking the Lynx, but I'm still taking the Lynx here. But I'm not locking this, and that's really the only reason because Natasha Howard is playing really, really well, and I just feel like if Enrique and Natasha Howard are both playing really well at the same time, I think that's hard to overcome, and it's kind of a low key kind of a letdown spot for the Minnesota Lynx coming off of the Commissioner Cup $500,000 victory. So I don't want to back them on the spread in this game, but I will take the Lynx late at 10.
So I know look-ahead spots and potential letdown spots have been a topic of conversation, and they've not exactly gone well for us. They have with the Liberty covering or not covering big numbers. That's worked out well for us. For totals, maybe not so much. What do you think the level of urgency is going to be for the Lynx after they just made $500K?
I don't think there's any urgency. It's the Wings too. Like, this is a horrible spot to go play with the worst team in the league because like you don't care. Like, this is it's a travel spot.
Worst case
they played an extra game. It's a travel spot. The Wings are on rest. Like, there's a lot of reasons to like the Wings, but you just can't. I can't bring myself to hit the button right now.
Yeah, I feel like I'm either playing devil's advocate or I'm always bringing in other variables, but I am wondering, game after you just won 500K, I am kind of curious if you're going to be having a bit of a letdown spot, because we saw the Lynx against the Sparks a couple weeks ago when the
Yeah,
Lynx wrapped
yeah.
up the Western Conference spot and they no-showed the entire first half. They won the game anyway, but they no-showed the first 20 minutes. I actually don't mind Wings first half in this game.
I was just just about to
I don't
say
mind
that.
it.
I
Now, of
don't
course,
like it. I
I'm not
don't
taking
like
the
it.
Wings full game because they
No,
are an awful second half team. I will not back them in the second half. But for 20 minutes, do I think they could hang in there and keep this game within like 5? Sure. Why
and
not?
it's an early start time. +7 in the first half. +7.
It's a lot in
+7.
my opinion.
Oh, come on.
I actually do like the Wings first half. I will not take them full game.
+7. I did not
But
know what I looked up here. I thought it was going to be 5. I did not know when I looked up here I was going to see 7. It says 7 right now.
and we've talked about it. The Wings are not a terrible, terrible first half team. They're a
No,
terrible second half
they're
team.
actually a good first half team. Like they're actually good in the first half. You saw what Natasha Howard did in the first half last game. Like,
Yeah.
wow.
I think Wings first
Okay.
half is actually kind of appealing at 7. Maybe a team total over, and you think the Lynx just no show a half, basically. I still don't
And
trust Dallas for
defensively, yeah.
40, but for 20, I think Dallas can keep it close.
Yeah, that's fun. I like that. I like that. All right. Let's see here.
I know we're going under on camp day because
Oh,
it
for
wasn't the
sure.
first one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
under 162.5. I mean, and honestly, I think this goes under if this was regular start time as well. Like I think
It's also
Minnesota
it's a
defensively,
principal play. You take the random
yeah,
noon game in a weekday and just take the under. It's kind of just how it goes.
absolutely. And then yeah, that's easy. That's easy. And plus, again, the letdown spot tells me that the rim that was very, very large for them in that Commissioner's Cup final is not going to be as large for them in Dallas, especially off of travel. And Dallas is off of rest. Like so, yeah, under 162.5. I really like that play. That's lock territory. I don't know yet. All right. Play props.
There's one prop I really like in this game, and it's actually the exact opposite of the play that you had for the Commissioner's Cup block. I like Nafisa under with her rebounds. She has not been very good at
Mhm.
rebounds, and I think that her number at 9.5 is massive. So I actually did a VEASAN spot before the show, so I actually have some notes prepared already. But Collier, to go through her numbers, she's been really bad at even reaching 9, and she has to get 10 in this game. It's
Mhm.
also worth mentioning Dallas, despite being a horrible team, they are very good at rebounding. Dallas is the
Mhm.
third best rebounding team in the league. We know that they have a lot of front court options. The minutes are just an absolute shit show every night, but at least they have different bodies that they can use to rebound. But Collier's had less than 9 rebounds in 5 of her last 6. She's also been terrible historically against Dallas. She's had less than 8 rebounds in 5 of her last 6 against the Wings. She needs 10. 9.5's massive. She has not been rebounding the ball lately, and they've been winning anyway. So I don't see why she'd have a monster rebounding game. Give me the under on Collier rebounds.
Natasha Howard props are comical at this point, and we're just going to continue to hit the over. Why
What's
are
the
we
number
slowing
after
down
this one?
now? Natasha Howard rebounds 7.5 plus 120.
Okay.
I mean, I love that play just off the rip. And you talked about it, all the front court options for Dallas. I mean, you have Natasha Howard, Tim McCowan. Honestly, I good luck if you think I can't even take myself to fade her. She just doesn't look interested in playing basketball on the court sometimes. But you still have Kalani Brown. You still have Suarez. Like you have a whole bunch of options, and so but Natasha Howard I think is leading that right now, and just her relentlessness and playing the game, and just the fact that she's got some time missed. So Natasha Howard, I like the plus 120 on the over 7.5 rebounds. Love the over 14.5 points and minus 120. I think that's still criminally low. Criminally low. That and the books are just not looking to update that yet. So I would take Natasha Howard there as well.
I'm not gonna go back
That might be
against
a
that.
lot.
She had
That
like 20
14 and
points
a
in the
half
first
might
half.
be a lot.
Yeah. I'm shocked they kept it at 14.5. She had 20 in the first half last game. I thought that was going to be a standard bump up to like 16. Then again,
Now,
maybe because it's Minnesota. That might be why. But
now she does have a tough matchup with Lonte Smith. I will say that. Alana Smith's been really good defending the paint this year, but I'm trusting the talented player, defense over offense in that one. All right. Yeah, I think that's it for me. I'm probably going to go in points and rebounds too, but I might sprinkle on the what's her double double. If it's 7.5 plus 120, it's got to be a juicy price for Natasha Howard double double. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Boom, finally pulled it up. All right. Double double for Natasha Howard is at plus 330. Not bad. Not bad. I'll
Good
take
price.
it. It might be a dog. Might be a dog. All right. Anything else?
No. Once again, mostly Collier. It's a weird game because we are expecting to see Minnesota maybe no show a quarter. So I don't mind Dallas early. Maybe if you want to get cute with it, Dallas first quarter, Minnesota full game. Make it interesting. Maybe. It is a perfect letdown spot if we're making that argument, but I do think Dallas is bad. They're really bad. But can they show up for a quarter? Yeah. I think they can show up for a quarter.
All right. And don't forget, Shot the Leg Show magazine for also the reminder too. If you missed it at the top of this breakdown, this is a camp day game. So it's tipping off at 12 p.m. local time to Dallas. 12 p.m. local to Dallas. All right. Before we get to the next game of the slate, got to talk to you about Underdog Fantasy. Create up to 8 picks with Underdog Fantasy in their new pick 8, which will automatically double flex your entry. So you can miss up to 2 picks and still win your entry. And you can win up to 325 times your original amount now. It was 100x. Now it's 325x. So make sure you tap in with Underdog Fantasy. We're going to do an Underdog lineup towards the end of the show. And if you're already a user, deposit between now and UFC 303 for a 10% bonus. What? So look, I know a lot of people have been like, oh, come on, give us something for the users that have been here. Give us something for the users that have been here. Well, there you go. Deposit now between now and UFC 303, and it will be a 10% bonus. Make sure you go to UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code NBA SGPN to claim your special pick and first time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code NBA SGPN. All right. Next game up. Oh, no. Wait. Got to talk to you about Circa. Circa's back with Circa Survivor and Circa Millions, giving away $16 million in guaranteed prizes. Circa Millions is a pick 5 where you pick 5 teams ATS each week and you compete throughout the year for $6 million. Or you could do Survivor and try to survive the NFL gauntlet from week 1 all the way to the end and claim the $10 million prize. Between now and September 7th, you can sign up in person at Circa Sports and then use a proxy to play from anywhere with footballcontestproxy.com. They will save you $50 with promo code SGP, footballcontestproxy.com, code SGP for $50 off. And guess what? If you don't know when to go, make sure you go check them out for the ultimate contest weekend. Sean's going to be there. Ryan's going to be there. They'll be doing shows. They'll be hanging out, enjoying the open bar at Circa Sports, August 22nd through August 24th. Might have to try to make it out there. We'll see.
You ever been in Vegas for the summer before?
The closest I've been to Vegas in the summer was week 1? I've been in week 1 and I've been in the NBA finals. I don't think I've been in what's between that.
I was there for the summer once. I think it was 114.
Oh,
I got through it. That's what I'm saying. So if you are going, make sure you spend extra time at the bar because it's a bit hot outside. That's my pro tip.
Alcohol dehydrates you, so that's horrible.
No, that's why you stay inside. You let the air, you let the oxygen pumped casino, keep you cold, and then you eventually go out once you sober up.
Oh man. Oh, man. The Connecticut Sun are on the road going to play the Washington Mystics. Sun open up lane 8.5. They're currently lane 10. 152.5 is the total. injury report that I see for these teams, and I have oh wait, I have to go follow up with that on another site. Is that true? That's not true. Well, I don't
What?
know. I haven't been looking. Okay, let's see here. Alyssa Thomas is probable with an ankle injury. We have. I actually don't have anything else. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's it for this game. Alyssa Thomas with the ankle injury, probable. And Mariah Jefferson is on IR, so she's going to be out for a while. Okay. Scott.
Mystics been okay recently. Not too bad. Remember when
Yeah,
they had
I'm
no
seeing
wins?
fun.
They have 4 wins now. They used to have 0. It's a step up in the right direction.
They're
It's
not
really
getting
good.
another one in this game.
It really depends on how you expect the Sun to respond to facing off against bottom feeder competition again. Because they stepped up against the Aces, didn't go well. Faced the Storm, didn't go well. And now you're back to facing off against the bottom feeders you've been dominating the entire season. So the Sun should win this game comfortably. The question is, do you think that's going to potentially linger, or do you think that they're just going to be pissed off and they're going to try to bury a bad team to get back on track?
Oh, they're going to destroy this team.
I'm assuming B as well. I agree.
Oh, I forgot. That's the name I forgot. Carly Samuelson out.
Okay.
So she fractured her finger. She's out. So you don't have Carly Samuelson. You don't have Brittany Sykes. You don't have Shakira Austin. And Aaliyah Edwards is technically questionable.
Atkins is about to take 30 shots. Yeah, I'll go with Phoenix. I'll go with Connecticut.
Phoenix? What? No. Phoenix? You disrespectful dog.
I'm saying that I think the Mystics are so bad. I would take the Mystics. I would take the Mystics on the road against this Mystics team, and that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I'll go with the Sun. I think it's a good spot for them to bounce back, just because they lost games that they usually lose to against good competition. They are who we thought they were, and they're back to facing off against bad teams. So we'll go back to Connecticut.
Too many injuries, man. Too many injuries, and Connecticut Sun just pissed off going in here trying to get a win. This is domination. Lay the 10. Just lay it.
I might just like Mystics team total under. Like if the Sun are going to win, are the Mystics getting to 70?
Possibly
not. They might not. It wouldn't shock me. So
I'm just going to play this again. I mean, I want to sell myself on some of these dogs, man. I really do, but it's just not there. It's not there today. I really think this is just a chalk day. This is going to be the day that people are like, see, that's what we're talking about. WNBA doesn't have good games. These games suck. You're getting blown out. Blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry, but these are horrible matchups, man. Horrible matchups. All right. 152.5. I'm with you on the under. Mystics team total under. Player props.
I actually like an AT fade in this one.
Really?
I like the under assist for AT. You look at her numbers; she's not been good assist wise recently. She's been fine, just not for her usual standards. That's 7.5. It's minus 105 on the under. She's gone under this number in 7 of her last 8. Washington really good at preventing assists. They're actually allowing the 3rd fewest assists per game in the entire league, and she's had less than 8 assists in 6 straight against the Mystics. So the Mystics have done a good job defending her in the past. You mentioned a blowout. Maybe AT gets pulled halfway through the 4th quarter. It's another possibility. Yeah. So I like the under based on trends for AT assists. I think the 7.5 is a bit too high. I think she'll finish with around 7. But I think that this line at minus 105, based on recent form and the head-to-head just success that Washington's had at preventing her assists from accumulating, I like it. I'll go with the under AT 7.5 assists.
All right. So I didn't have the assist down. I mean, I always play the assist, but I'm specifically looking at the rebounds here. And it's because the front court depth is just demolished, absolutely demolished for this Mystics team. And so if you're telling me I have to pick between AT and Stephanie Dawson, I'm taking AT. It's at 9.5. It's been a little up and down recently, but I think this is just an amazing matchup where she's going to be able to literally just hang around the rim and grab almost anything. Like, I just don't think there's much resistance there from anybody. So I think AT gets it done on the rebounds, over 9.5 there.
You see
What
Dawson's
else?
stats recently, by the way? Dawson's been like really good for the
Yeah,
last couple
really,
games for
really, yeah,
us.
she killed me.
She's
I
been
took
really
the
good.
under ERA in the last game. I'm not touching that again. She killed me one time. I'm not going by that again. I definitely took the
I swore up for props a month and a half ago, so that you're on your own on that one.
Yeah, I'm straight there. All right. Considering Brown Jones points.
Yeah.
Considering. I'm not there 100%, but I don't think there's any resistance on the front court. And I think that they're going to put up 90. That's why I'm not all the way there on that 18 under, just because I understand everything you're saying. But at the end of the day, she runs the offense, and 90 points is really the potential here. Like, it really, really is the potential. So I just don't want to play that game with any unders for this Connecticut squad today. But I do like Bonner over on her points, over 16.5, I think it is now. Let me see.
That sounds about right. I'll check.
Yeah, I see it over 16.5 minus 125. And this is just a get right game after playing some tough teams. Played Seattle, played Vegas. She had 16 against that Sparks team. Played Dallas, where they just dominated them, and she didn't even have to do anything. So she only had 8 in that game. 16 against Chicago, which is a tougher matchup. But against these tough defenses, these horrible defenses right now, she got 17 against the got over this line, 17 against the Fever, got the 20 in the last game against Washington earlier this season, and she got 18 against the Dream. So I still think that she's pretty solid and hanging around this 16.5 number. I'll take her over and say she gets to 20 again, actually.
Yeah, sounds realistic.
All right. Anything else you got?
No. Then we basically covered it. The Sun, if they care enough, should dominate. They should be really pissed off. I mean, we talk every single time about the Sun and why we never take them seriously. It's because of this. They never beat any of the elite teams in the league.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen.
Like, it's I mean, they might get 1 or 2, but like, that's really it. It's like 1
They
or
made the
2.
finals a couple years ago, but nobody thought they beat the Aces, and they lost that series pretty convincingly. Kind of just the same story every year, isn't it?
Yeah, it really wasn't much resistance in that finals run, too.
No.
All right.
And they even went to a game 3 against Dallas, and I think Dallas was below 500 that year. Like, there's been some moments with that
I
team.
think Enrique was hurt. I think Enrique was hurt during that series, and they lost one of those games. All right. Let's see here. Rhythm. Hey, look, you can either listen to us or you can listen to Rhythm, because Rhythm's WNBA features make it easier than ever to bet the WNBA using data. You can create custom betting models and get AI back picks in seconds. Rhythm is great. I've been backing a number of Rhythm plays. So, yeah, 100%. We are going to go lock in on Rhythm. Let's see what Rhythm has for the slate tomorrow. Rhythm play of the day for tomorrow. We haven't talked about that one. We have, all right, this is one to beat. Now, there are 2 teams that Rhythm says if an underdog gets the win, these 2 teams have a shot. The first one we already talked about, Dallas plus 4 on the money line. They're saying that, hey, even though it is a 24.7 win probability, with that price, it's worth the sprinkle. So they're saying, hey, Dallas, if you feel like, because I know there's some people that are like, no way, all favorites go out here, win and cover and all of that. Like, I truly understand that mindset. They're saying Dallas might be one team you might be interested in. The other team, we're about to talk about them in a second, Scott. We're literally about to talk about them right now. Make sure you get that 7-day free trial. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Second wing in Chicago, because Chicago Sky are welcoming the Las Vegas Aces to town. Aces open up lane 8. They are currently laying 10.5. 170.5 is the total injury report for these 2 teams. And I see here for the Las Vegas Aces, let's see. I have nothing. That's not the aces. That's not the aces. No, I don't actually have any updated injury report for this game. So expect to see some Chelsea Gray minutes. Expect to see anybody else that was even questionable. No. Elizabeth Williams is still out. Diamond DeShields, there we go. That's one. Diamond DeShields is actually probable. She's probable to play. Still no Kirsten Bell for the Aces, but that's it. All right.
I mean, you want to play the drop every game, so do you want to play the drop every game?
Yeah, I think this. I think that the drop is very worthy of this game. So. Did you hear the Rudy's out the chalk in 1 year? That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Phaeton. Yeah. I can't. This is such a letdown spot. This is such an ultimate letdown, and maybe it's not. Maybe you get, and that's where I say that the Sky have a chance. That's where I can sit there and say that I feel like the Sky have a chance. Maybe this is not a letdown spot because it's the Aces. Because it's the Aces that makes this not a letdown spot. And ultimately, you don't want to lay a bunch of points with teams that don't play defense. But honestly, I still have questions on this Sky offense. I don't think they're going to get easy points in the paint. And unfortunately, the place where you attack the Aces defense is on the perimeter, and they don't have a whole bunch of perimeter shooters. Like, they don't have a bunch of perimeter options at all. So it's just like, I can see if somebody were to sit here and tell me that they were on the Sky, I would be like, I can see it. I'm not doing it, but I can see it. I'm laying the 10.5 with the Aces.
The Aces are no. I feel like the Aces are arguably an elite team again, and nobody wants to fully admit it because they passed 2 tests pretty quickly and did so in convincing fashion. Buried Seattle, and they buried Connecticut. So I know they lost to the Liberty, but that was before Gray was officially back. So I do think the Aces are still on the verge of maybe becoming that super team that we kind of have been accustomed to seeing for the last couple of years. I don't think Chicago can stop this team. And I think that the Aces might struggle to stop Chicago. So I like the over in this game, obviously. I think the pace will be there. The Aces might drop 95 in this game. Wouldn't shock me. You mentioned the Sky having a nice win against Indiana. They didn't cover. We're not going to talk about that, but they were able to win the game anyway. Point is, it's still never easy with this team because they are. I know we initially praised them for their defense earlier in the year. They have completely fallen apart defensively. They are not a good defensive team, Chicago. And I think that the Aces just have so many weapons with Gray being back in the fold too. Now you can give Jackie less of a role. Plum goes back to original spot. Point guard is making passes. Asia's still doing Asia things. Tiffany off the bench. So many options for this team. I just don't see how the Sky are going to get consistent stops. I like the over, and I think the Aces probably drop like 90, 95. So I'll go with the Aces minus 10.5 as well. But I like the over. I think you'll agree. No reason to assume either team plays any defense in this game.
Point guard had 7 assists in that game against the Storm, man.
I don't even know how many minutes she played, but that's still...
I think it was like 15 somewhere. It might have been like 15. But she had 7 assists in that game. That was insane. All right. Yeah, I'm with you on over. I think there's 2 ways. I think the over is potential lock territory. And it's because I believe both scripts they get there. If they cover 10.5, it's because the Aces put up 100.
Yep. And if the game's close and they're going to keep everyone in, and you probably have a game that's
and
like
they gave up 80, 90.
Yeah.
Like, they gave up a bunch of points. So either way, it feels really, really good for this over. I really like this slate. I think there's a lot of options to choose from. I'm not gonna lie. All right. Player props. I'll kick things off here. Marina Mabrey over 15.5 points.
Okay.
And maybe I need to look for a threes angle, actually. Oh, actually, no. Let's change that. Because the 2.5 threes is plus 125. I mean, if she doesn't shoot 10, like she's your best 3-point shooter. And this is where you attack this Aces defense. Like, I like Mabry plus money for 2.5 threes, and I think she can get the threes playing by far. They're giving up 40% from three, and I don't think that point guard has just changed this team into a all-star defensive team. Like I think that there is definitely some holes that they need to work on. So I'm backing Mabry here. Only thing, and definitely I like the threes more than the points because if she gonna do anything, she gonna miss a free throw.
In a big spot. In the
I
final
just
10
I
seconds.
I feel like it's been 3 different games that I remember seeing her miss a free throw in the final few minutes. Like, oh man, it's really annoying. Really, really annoying. All right, what else you got? We got
So Angels at 11.5 rebounds again. If you want to just back it, I think I'm going to stay away in this game. I think Asia might give her the business in this game. It might just be a spot where, Reese is supposed to be
she
this
ain't gonna
next
have a
up
lot
and
of
coming.
misses to even grab.
That's true, but I'm just saying in general, it might be just one of those games where you kind of let the new person on the block know who's boss, and I think Asia might just kick her ass in this game. It would not shock me. There should be a chip on her shoulder anyway, because she's having an MVP year, and it feels like nobody's talking about her because everyone's talking about Caitlyn versus Angel in pretty much every single topic of conversation. I don't think
Yep.
people realize how good Asia's been this year. Like the
Bro,
Aces, I know
she's-
record-wise have not been as good as previous years, but her numbers are absolutely just insane.
I'm also considering locking Asia over 26.5 in this game as well. Like that's also in considering. I really like this slate. I'm considering locking that as well.
So I do like that as well, but I think I am going to go with Angel under 14.5 points. I know she had 25 last game. That's great. She had 16 the game prior against Dallas. Asia's also a multiple-time Defensive Player of the Year winner. I don't think Angel's going to have a lot of success. I still don't trust her paint game. She's improved. I'll give her props on it. I didn't think she dropped 25 in a game about 3 weeks ago, and she pulled it off. But it's one thing to go up against Indiana's front court. Now you're against a multiple-time Defensive Player of the Year. And I think we'd agree that Angel's post game is raw. Let's use that word. She can definitely improve in that area. I think Asia might have her in jail in this game. I think it's going to be an ugly game for Reese. She'll learn from it. Maybe she still puts up 12 rebounds, but I can really see a 6 or an 8-point game here. I'll go with the under 14.5. I feel like it's juice based off the 25-point game from last time out. I trust Asia to shut her down.
All right.
I'm assuming you co-sign that script.
Yeah, I will. But this script only if that script happens, then I feel like Camila Cardoso is getting over 10.5 points.
Yeah, she could
because she's not getting the Asia Wilson matchup, and
Who's guarding her?
she's
Stokes?
Stokes. Yeah, it's going to have to be Stokes, and she has the size. Like I think that's just going to go well for her. And they're starting to find better ways to get her the ball. It's still a little shaky, but hey, all I'm gonna say is her props are 100% after she said, then don't bet my props on live because somebody was talking about how she kept making her miss the parlay. And she was like, well, stop betting me. And she went out and had an amazing game. So the over's 100% after that. I'm going to keep riding it. 10.5 for Camila Cardoso because I do agree with you. I think it's going to be Asia versus Reese.
Yep.
All right.
You going back to Carter?
No.
Okay.
Because she scores a lot inside of the paint, and so I'm afraid.
Sure.
They're not a bad paint. They're not a bad points inside the paint defense. So and because she doesn't take the threes like that, I really don't want any problems with that. So I chose to stay off Kenny Carter today. But I am considering a Plum or Jackie Young threes angle, maybe both. I might do both. Because I think the Aces are going to run the score.
I think that they're just going to try to improve the record as much as possible after a shaky start. The Aces really, if I told you the Aces won 12 straight, I don't think anybody would be shocked.
If you told me they won 20 straight, I wouldn't be shocked.
That's what I'm saying. With Chelsea back in the fold and with her having an extra couple days off to practice with the team and get a little bit more, I'd say, reacclimated with the rest of the roster, the second she starts playing 30 minutes a game, it's going to be curtains for most of the league. This team is just so good when they all play.
Listen to their next 5 games. So they have Sky, Mystics, Fever, Mystics, Sparks.
They're winning all those games by 15.
And I'm sorry. Let's go to 6 Wings.
Okay, they're winning all those games by 10+ points. So I'm just saying, if you want the Aces to win the title, you might want to take it now because this schedule gets
Oh
very easy.
man. Oh man, what a nice soft part of the schedule right there. All right. That's hilarious.
Yep.
Okay. Next game up. We have the last game up, the Indiana Fever on the road going to play the Seattle Storm. Seattle opened up 7.5. They are now laying 8.5. 167.5 is the total here. Injury report for these two teams. Thank you. Injury report for these two teams, and I have for the. Let's see. It's not this game. Whoa. Oh, Timmy Fagbile. She's questionable for Thursday. Question now again, WNBA questionable is legit questionable. Don't just assume that she's in, but she is questionable, and that is an upgrade for her because she's been out indefinitely for a good amount of time now. Jordan Horston got to start in that last game. She played really well too. I think they might be going back to that. Here we are. I mean, again, let me see. Where's my chart?
Who's got the chalk?
I mean, this is the letdown spot for them too. And they can't defend. So now you're telling me you can't defend. Now the offense looks better. Offense does look better. But that's still a Seattle defense, and you haven't seen a defense like that in how many games? How long is it? When is the last time the Fever played somebody with a winning record?
I was going to bring that up for my handicap of the game, but it has been they played the Sun about 6 games ago and they lost by 17.
And then they played the Mystics and they won. And the game before that, they lost by 36 to the Liberty.
Yeah.
Another team with a winning record. And then there's a 1-point game against the Sky there. And then you have the Seattle Storm game where the Storm put up 103 on them. Yeah.
With the exception of one game, the first game they got buried by the Sun. The Liberty, they lost both games there. So the second game against the Sun, they lost by 4. And the other game against the Storm on the road, they lost by 2. Every other game against teams above 500, they've lost by double digits. So just throwing that out there.
Yeah. And I just know because this is the smallest number. This is the dog that people are going to run to and they're going to try to bet. And they're like, if there's a dog that's going to win the day, this is the one. This is the one that I think has no shot. I mean, Storm, lay the 8.5. Oh my gosh. Yes. Inject that into my veins. And yes, it is another Jewel Lloyd masterclass. You should be. If her points prop is not over 20.5, that's insane. What's her points prop? It's at 20.5. Even money? Absolutely. Yes, I will take 20.5 or even money. Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know who's going to guard her. If it's going to be Caitlin, good luck, because Jewel's going to give her 30 if she gets matched up on Caitlin. So, yeah, I'll go with Seattle as well. Too many options in general. I think the roster is deep. Seattle, we saw, was slumping. They got back on track. They give up 8 points in a quarter. I know Connecticut is not a great offensive team. 8 points in a quarter. Like, this team defensively, when they are fully invested, is elite. Yeah. Indiana can't stop anybody. So I do think that there are a couple ways the Storm win this. Either it's a high-scoring game and Seattle outscores them, or maybe Seattle's defense clamps them down and they win this game by margin. But Indiana, once again, look at their numbers against teams above 500, against quality opposition. They get smacked about 80% of the time. So I think it's a similar story here. Indiana's recent hot streak that they were on. They played Chicago. They were up by a bunch. They choked that game away, but that was Chicago. They're not a good team. They beat Atlanta. Atlanta stinks. Beat Washington. They stink. Beat the Sky. They stink. Play the Dream again. They stink. So they just recycled a bunch of crappy teams over and over again. So I do think that context matters. They have not really beaten a good team all year. And I think that this is another spot where they probably lose to a good team.
Have they beaten a good team all year? You said not really. Have they? Let me wait. What are these 7 wins? There's
No,
there's no way
they've
there's
only
a
beaten
team.
they've only beaten the crappy teams in the league. They haven't played the Lynx yet. They haven't played the No, they haven't beaten anybody worth a damn this season yet.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah. I hate to bury a lead, but you might hear this in about another 10 minutes. You might hear about this game again. All right. Over, I think, is a really good play to over 167.5. I think this is similar where, honestly, Seattle could put up 100. I think they're going to headhunt Clark.
They
Like,
they already they
who do you
already put up
hide
100.
Clark on?
They put up 100 against this team a couple weeks ago or like a month ago, so they
Yeah.
can definitely do it. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Who do you hide Clark on? Horston? I mean, she can drive to the rim, and if she's not quick enough, she can get there. I don't know where you hide her on defense, honestly. Like, I
They're going to
really
involve
don't
her
with
in
this
every pick
offense.
and roll, so she's not going to be able to hide
Everything.
anywhere.
All right. Yeah, they're cooked. Player props, I told you, I like Jewel Lloyd. I think that Skylar Diggins-Smith assists are live at 6.5 plus 105. I actually do think Aaliyah Boston still can have a pretty solid game. Been very, very consistent since they've made a concerted effort to get her the ball. And I would still play Clark assist at 6.5.
6.5 is not bad. It's a pretty good number.
Yeah, I would still play her assist. I think she had 7 last game. I think somebody said AOD said she had 21, 7, and 7 last game. Yeah, I would still play the assist. Not as much everything else, though. Anything popping out to you? Anything else? I know I just kind of did a drive-by on a bunch of props.
I'm fine with the drive-by. I think we're good. I feel like Seattle can win this game in a couple of ways. I do agree about Jewel. I think she's going to have a monster game. Maybe just a chip on her shoulder, too, because Caitlin's coming to town, and she just might try to, showcase that she's the best guard on the floor. So maybe that's an ego thing. That wouldn't shock me either. But I think that Magbagor on the boards can have some success. I think Aaliyah might bounce back. She was solid against she was okay against the Sky. I mean, she cashed the parlay that I had. I wouldn't say that she had the greatest game imaginable. So maybe she'll be able to bounce back, but it just seems to me like if Seattle's able to kind of limit Caitlin or force her to take some tough shots, they know the rest of this team is going to struggle because they kind of hope that Caitlin is going to be the quarterback of the offense. I just see Seattle throwing a lot of different looks at Caitlin to make her uncomfortable.
Yeah. All right. Lock, dog, parlay, underdog. For my lock, Seattle laying 8.5. Come on, guys. I'm not. We did this last time, and we took this play last time. We're gonna do it again. I mean, I trust Seattle defensively. They're solid defensively. They're back home for this game. This is the Indiana Fever, who are horrible defensively. So many options. I have no idea how they're stopping the GOAT Jewel Lloyd. I have no idea how they're gonna stop anybody on the inside between Ezzy or NECA. So I really don't. And then I think Skylar Diggins-Smith has now settled into her point guard role where she can go out there, she can take what the defense gives her. And so, yeah, like Scott said, I think Caitlin Clark is going to be in pick and rolls. They're going to really challenge her defensively. This Seattle Storm team are going to run the score up on them. So I'm taking Seattle Storm and I'm laying 8.5. That is my lock. There it is. For my dog. Am I going back in Sasha Howard? I might.
What, 20 plus?
20 plus is intriguing. Double is also intriguing. She also has the Alana Smith matchup, and that could lead to an inefficient day for her, and that would piss me off. So I'm going to take the double at plus 330. Because ultimately, I think she's going to be active around the rim. I think there's going to be a lot of misses in this game to work with. I like the under for the game. So I'm just going to back rebounds. And hopefully with the split minutes of Sierra McCowan, even when McCowan is out there, hopefully she is so disinterested in playing ball that that Natasha Howard can just headhunt a whole bunch of rebounds. So yeah, Natasha Howard, double, plus 330.
All right. So for my lock on the show, I'm going to go back to the Collier under 9.5 rebounds. That line's an insane line. I know Collier's a great player. I know she won Commissioner's Cup MVP. Rebounding wise, she has not done really anything for the last couple weeks. Even in that Commissioner's Cup game, she did not rebound too well. But you're looking at her number 9.5 at -122 on the under. She has gone under in 5 of the last 6. Had less than 9 rebounds in 5 of the last 6. Dallas is a good rebounding team. You can roast them in a lot of different ways, but rebounding is not one of them. They're a good rebounding team. And historically speaking, Collier has gone under 8 rebounds in 5 of the last 6. She needs 10. I think 10's an insane line for her rebounding lately. Give me the under on Collier rebounds at 9.5 at -122. For my dog, I was trying to see if I could find I don't know if it was a same game parlay or if I was trying to find a combo play, but I think I actually am going to do it. Let's have a bit of fun here. I'm going to go with the Wings first quarter money line, parlayed with the Lynx full game money line. It's +310.
Ooh. First quarter and the full game? Scott.
We're going Wings first quarter, Lynx full game. I think it really is a great spot for the Lynx to do what they did against the Sparks, which is be extremely, I'd say, lethargic early, maybe a bit hungover, maybe after making 500K. And then eventually coach is going to yell at them at halftime and they'll figure it out. But if you want to go for scheduling spot, I think it is a good spot for the Wings to actually come out firing and to have some success early in this game. If you just want the Wings to win the quarter, by the way, you can get that at +195. So I don't mind it at +195. But I think for the sake of this matchup, why would I not want to throw in a -550 money line into it and turn into +310? So I still don't trust the Wings to ever win games. They can win a quarter, but I think +310 is a good price. So once again, my lock's going to be on Collier, under 9.5 rebounds at -122. My dog will be on a same-game parlay on DraftKings. Give me the Wings first quarter money line parlayed with the Lynx full game money line, and that's +310.
I love it. I'm 100% betting that. I'm 100% playing that. +310. Yeah.
I think it's a good number.
All right. Here's the parlay. Should I take my lock out or should I? I have a lot of plays that I can replace it with. Should I take my lock out or should I just play it?
Well, first things first, I'm assuming you're doing a 3-pick?
Yes.
Okay.
So, or should I make it 4 and just add Wings first half? That 7 is kind of crazy.
I think you got to just let the card speak to you. Whichever plays you like, you just throw them in there.
Why is that total moving up to 163? People playing over.
They don't know about camp day.
Yeah, that's weird. I will. Oh, well, I guess I'm not going to do it. Why does FanDuel not have the first half spread? Why do I have to go to a different book to place that?
I have no
That's
idea.
stupid. Like, you have first half total points, you have first half money line. Why don't you have the spread? It's actually that doesn't make sense to me at all. All right, we'll just keep it at where it's at. Seattle, lay 8.5. Easy. Connecticut, lay the 9.5. No problem. Asia Wilson, over 26.5 points, because I think she's going to give Camilla and Angel, they're going to be rotating in and out, and she's going to be giving them barbecue chicken the whole game. So that 3-pick plus 567.
Barbecue chicken alert. Barbecue chicken alert. Yeah.
All game. MVP. All right. I don't know why this is back down to 26.5, by the way. She should be at 28.5 for the rest of the season. Don't even question it. The question is she scoring 30 tonight? I think that's
I'm more surprised at this point when I see her dropping 22 than 30. That's where I'm at in the season for.
No,
wrong?
actually, yes. Actually, yes. I am more surprised if she has a 22 game than a 30. 100%. All right, Scott, anything else for people forget about? Oh, wait, underdog.
Yep. I do want to use Collier rebounds again if they have it up.
Hold on. Okay. Let me type in Collier. It is 0.9x.
Sure.
All right, lower. Let's see.
You want to go?
Natasha
You want to
Howard
go?
points. We can go
Well, Howard points. I know that
Asia.
we're in for, so that's fine.
Okay. Natasha Howard higher, 14.5 points. We got Nafis Collier lower, 9.5 rebounds in there as well.
Question is, do you want to go for Jewel? Do you want to go for Asia, or do you want to go for Reichel lower?
Oh, well, I mean, if we're picking through them, I'm always going to go with Jewel.
Was that 20.5?
Yeah.
That's good enough for me.
And that's, oh, was 19. What? Yes, we will take that. 100% higher. 19.5 points for Jewel Lloyd. Higher, 14.5 points for Natasha Howard. And lower, 9.5 rebounds, Nafisa Collier. Add that into Underdog Fantasy, and that's going to get you 5.4x. 5.4 times your entry. $10 gets you $54, so on and so forth. Make sure you use that promo code NBA SGPN. And guess what? If you deposit right now and you are a previous Underdog account owner, then you can get a 10% deposit bonus. So make sure you go deposit underdogfantasy.com, promo code NBA SGPN. All right. Scott, anything else for people before we get up out of here?
No, not really. Once again, looking forward to the games. Should be fun. We'll be back once again tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Once again, tomorrow, break down the Friday and Saturday games. So, yep, tomorrow, Thursday night. Probably a little bit earlier, but Thursday and Friday games. How many? Whoa, holy crap. It's a lot of y'all. 76. Make sure you like the video before you get up out of here. I know you're about to get up out of here. Please like the video. Just hit like real quick, and then you can dip. I promise you it's fine. And if you are a podcast listener, make sure you're giving us a 5-star rating and review. I mean, you're in your podcast app anyway. Just hop over there, hop into wherever it is. Just click 5 stars and write a nice little word or something like that. It doesn't matter. But just go ahead and throw in there. Actually, it could be bad. You could give us a 5-star rating or review and then just write something bad if you don't like the show. But I mean, come on. Like, I'm hitting 81% of my locks. Scott is hitting 60% of his locks. Scott is hitting 40% of his dogs. I'm hitting 38% of my dogs. Like, come on, guys. I don't understand. Wait, no, Scott. Scott is hitting 80% of his dogs. So, I mean, 40% of his dogs. I'm sorry, not 80%. Wow, Scott would be a millionaire. There you go. Why would you not listen? Why would you not listen? I think it's like, what, 30%, 35% on dogs when you turn a profit?
Depends what the number is. Most of mine are above 2-1.
Yeah.
So
You're sitting nice on the show, so there's no reason you shouldn't like us. But some people don't like us, and that's fine. That's all right. All I gotta say is I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way to end the podcast. Just gonna end it like this. We are out of here.